Okay, we're going to start with the nation. PDP crisis, are you not Jibrin? Should resign, says Wike. Charles as King of England, world leaders mourn as Queen Elizabeth II passes on. 7,000 donkey genitals intercepted. 2023, no option to victory, Adamu tells APC members. DSS military items, cash, financial instruments found in Mahmoud's home in office. Over 30 aspirants undergo screening for Alaafin. Let's start with, and there's a man kills 90-year-old father in Kwara.
Yes, let's start with the human interest story.
Let's start with the human interest.
So this 29-year-old Ibrahim Hassan has been paraded by the police in Kwara State for allegedly killing his 90-year-old father. The story was that his daughter Aisha Ibrahim reported him missing, and investigations led to his son, his biological son that he birthed, Ibrahim Hassan, said he took his father to the bank to get his ATM card, and then on his way home, he took him to a building and strangled. He said he injected him with paracetamol and some substances. The man fell dizzy and he strangled his father and took the ATM card and withdrew 59,000 naira. He had also gotten a bike on loan or something, and then he sold the bike, withdrew the 59,000 naira, and ran away. He killed his father for his ATM card.
Don't get it. There must be more to that story than that, because really, I want to take another human interest story. Just barely a week from the last incident of collapse that happened in Lagos, another collapse happened in Ibadan. Uncompleted building as well. Sources said that it happened around 5:45 a.m. People were, I don't understand, this is so early in the morning. People were in an uncompleted building and it collapsed. 5 people were immediately taken to the hospital. But later they discovered the number increased to 7 that have been taken to the hospital injured. I can't see any deaths yet. Maybe when they continue excavation, the National Emergency Management Authority and the Fire Service, Federal Fire Service, were there to respond. Based on the preliminary of what they are seeing right now, they are blaming substandard building materials. And really, this is my industry. We need to learn to do things to standard, because the cost, a stitch in time saves 9. The more we don't do these things right, what the result is terrible. In Lagos, we had about 7 people died, 5 people died, and then this is 7 injured from a building collapse, uncompleted building.
All right, so the longest-serving British monarch died yesterday at about 6:30 p.m. The Union flag on top of the building was put at half-mast. King Charles and the Queen Consort, Camilla, had met at the Balmoral yesterday, and they expected to return to London, to Buckingham Palace today. Many of our family members went to meet her in Scotland together. She died peacefully in her private home yesterday. It's going to be about 10 days of mourning. On the 10th day, she'll be buried, and they expect that lots of people will come from all over the world for the burial. As I said, she just recently celebrated her 70th year reign, which was where we heard so much about her and her reign, and how she was a peaceful woman, humble, kept her family together, had serious family values, and King Charles would lead the Great Britain in mourning, and the head of states of the 14 Commonwealth realms. So that's the story right now. We'll continue to wait for more information from the...
So I have the DSS story. So the DSS went with a search warrant this time, according to the spokesperson of the service, Peter Afunaya. They went with a valid search warrant to the office of Mamu, that's the negotiator between the bandits and the Kaduna train passengers. And they said, according to them, that they recovered some accoutrements and other large amounts of money in different denominations and financial transaction instruments at his office. But the spokesperson for the Herald News, for the Desert Herald, that's his publishing house, said that, yes, they came in a well-armed 50 personnel came to search the office. They found nothing. They brought back his 2 wives and still kept his sons, who were also traveling. One, Ibrahim and Faisal, are still with the DSS along with their dad. The DSS says what they have found are deeply incriminating and that he will have his day in court.
Okay, the donkey genitals.
Let me take donkey genitals. So the Nigerian Customs Service intercepted 16 sacks of donkey genitals. They said the importers, first of all, lied that they were cow genitals, but the pungent smell just attracted them to it. They opened the bags and after investigation found out that they were donkey genitals. I'm happy.
How do you tell the difference? Like,
no, they would know. It's
right?
their job. They would know. But, you know, I like that they said that they will not allow illegal wildlife trade to thrive.
Why would
donkeys are they wild?
They were being exported to Hong Kong in China.
So but maybe that would are they not domestic?
They are domestic, but also to get that number of genitals. How many donkeys you would have had?
They breed donkeys some parts of the country.
In Nigeria?
Yes.
Well, obviously, our government does not accept it for them to have that
I didn't think we...
I need clarity on that.
Many.
I thought we were domestic animals.
Anyway, let's move on to the Punch. Queen Elizabeth's death at 96. World leaders may pay tributes. Britain mourns Charles becomes king. Lagos woman sets ablaze for kidnapping baby and dies. Police hoodlums demolish 50 Lagos buildings, victims protest. Troops rescue 3 Chibok girls, arrest terrorist and informant. Nigeria's monkeypox death toll highest in Africa, says WHO. Pengerson threatens 30-day shutdown. Nigeria risks 1.37 trillion naira loss. Military will tackle security challenges. Buhari assures Nigerians for the 110th time. PDP pacifies South with BOT chair. IU stays. Okay.
Our defense headquarters, during the regular briefing of journalists on the activities, especially for the period between August 25th to September 8th, they said that the troops of Operation K were able to arrest a terrorist informant in Asokoro area of the FCT. His name is Mahmoud Usman, also known as Bado, an informant in FCT. An informant for Boko Haram, they say, and for ISWAP. Then another foreign logistics supplier of arms his name is Abacha Bukar, was also arrested. 13 other terrorists have been arrested in Borno State. Then 3 Chibok girls were rescued alongside their children. They are Jinke Yama. She has serial number 3 on the list of the girls that were abducted. At the time, Falma Talawa is number 20, and Asabe Ali were rescued. I just feel I'm happy that they are rescued, but see how long it took, plus the children. But thank God, and I hope that all the others will be found as well.
Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So I'm going to take a human interest story in the Punch. So a lady being tagged as a ritualist, identified simply as Toyin, was rescued by police officers while she was about to be lynched. So what happened was that Toyin had entered a house looking for her own husband, asking, has my husband been here? And when she then realized that there was a baby unattended to, so the baby had maybe little kids around him, not an adult in sight. So she tried to grab that baby to steal the baby. But the little 11-year-old girl or child who was by the baby raised the alarm because this lady was trying to run away with the 8-month-old baby. So she raised the alarm, and people came around. They grabbed, they rescued the child, and then tried to burn that girl alive. The police obviously came. That's Toyin. They tried to burn her alive. Toyin came. The police came to rescue Toyin from the lynching of the mob. She rushed out to the hospital. Unfortunately, eventually she didn't survive. She died, but it's quite sad. From the burns from the mob. It was really, really sad that this happened. I mean, yes, we understand this could have been averted, but the police tried to help save her life. At least they had the proper. We don't like jungle justice. Nothing justifies jungle justice. But unfortunately, this young lady died.
Okay, so the World Health Organization's regional director for Africa says that Nigeria, the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and the Central African Republic represent the highest cases of monkeypox, and Nigeria is leading these 3 countries in Africa. And our own NCDC agrees. They said that they tested out of 530 persons, they've confirmed 220 cases of monkeypox in Nigeria. In the same story in the Punch, medical experts are calling for more awareness for monkeypox because nobody in these regions have been given the vaccine.
That story in Punch? Yes, 50 houses were demolished in the Bejuleki area. There had been a court case ongoing. I hear, according to the papers, the case had been in court since 2008. And in 2018, they got an injunction from the court. It's between the family and the government, and the lawyer took the case to court. They said that since the courts had given the family the right to take possession of the land, they had started building on the land, and about a few people have built several houses. Over 50 houses have been built on the land. And they've tried to register the court judgment, but they couldn't register it. They said they had a meeting with the commissioner, the permanent secretary for lands, Mr. Bodiagoro, and they said the lawyer said, the family lawyer, Ademola Olowoyeye, said he's been frustrating their efforts. He didn't let any of their application process for building go through, even though they have the court judgment, and now they say the houses have been demolished. One person said that he used his entire life savings to build the house. He was planning to move there, that he was going to move there this week because his house rent had expired, and now all he has spent his entire life building has gone. One person has a 72-room building. There are shopping complexes, all demolished with a bulldozer. They said there were hoodlums and police officers, officers of the Lagos State Environment and Special Offences Enforcement Units with hoodlums were the ones that were demolishing the houses with bulldozer. They tried to get information from the Commissioner for Information for Lagos State, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho, said he's not aware of the incident, but if they give him the court order, he would look into it, and that the people that went to Abidjan did not go for demolition, but to enforce Land Grabbers Commission law. But the pictures here are showing houses being demolished. So let's look into these things.
Okay, let's move on to the Daily Sun. ASU strike, NANS to resume street protest. Okiwe, Anyak requires insecurity, religious intolerance. Wike kicks as IU survives neck sack. We recovered huge sums of money, incriminating documents in Mahmoud's residence's DSS. Court extends order stopping Buhari NBC from shutting down 53 broadcast stations. Buhari vows to sustain operational tempo on security. 2023 presidency must win for APC, says Adamu. And UBA records strong double-digit growth, declares 20,000 interim dividend.
Okay, so Nance, yes, the National Association of Nigerian Students has elected a new president, Umar Farouk, in Abuja, and he was speaking about, the strike. Of course, as the Nance president, this is his first or primary assignment. He says this strike has lasted too long and that they are giving 7 days warning to picket the Ministry of Education across the country and start street protests across the country to raise awareness that the federal government must do better with ASU so that the strike will end once and for all.
Okay, so the whole issue, the brouhaha going on in the PDP, we've been following it for a while. So yesterday, the BOT chairman had resigned, hoping that would pacify Governor Wike, because remember, Governor Wike was advocating for Dr. Ayu to step aside. But actually, what happened was that the current BOT chairman, the past BOT chairman, Dubrin, resigned, hoping that would pacify. But unfortunately, Wike said it's Ayu or nothing, that he's not going to move, that what Atiku had promised him was that, let me just read it very clearly. He said that he noted that the current hierarchy of the people did not give him room for the interests of the South, particularly when decisions are being taken. According to him, the resignation of BOT chairman is a distraction because PDP's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar told him that the national chairman of the party, Dr. Ayu, must relinquish his position. So now he said if the presidential candidates come from the North, that he would resign. So the point is that the inner workings of PDP, and he's unable to resolve this issue. They thought that maybe yesterday's decision would help, but Governor Wike is insisting that hasn't really changed his mind. He's insisting that Dr. Ayu must go.
Just an update on the suit filed by SERAP and the Nigerian Guild of Editors concerning the federal government's decision and NBC to shut down operations of 53 broadcast stations as a result of the 2.6 billion naira debt that they have. They found the Federal High Court here in Lagos has extended the order of stopping the president and NBC from revoking these licenses until there's so much plenty legal talk, but it's just to extend it and give them time to, listen to both parties before any stance is taken.
So the former chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit group, Professor Ayam, had given a speech at the, was giving a speech at the 21st Michael Okonkwo annual lecture in Lagos State, and he said many things about the challenges Nigeria is facing. Sort of like his words put it into really into proper perspective. He said Nigeria is in the midst of an undeclared war, where the enemy is ill-defined and where the consciousness of a water environment is lacking. He also mentioned how we're facing he said there's multi-dimensional challenges that Nigeria is facing. We're facing mismanagement of our diversity. We're facing security challenges, inability to define our national values, and our inability to understand the competitive advantage that we have as a nation. For me, and you know, at the end of the day, he said Nigeria needs a miracle. It just feels really weakening when we hear leaders that have a lot of knowledge saying that what we need is a miracle. And then there are many issues listed, and we're still praying and hoping for a miracle. But we need to have more engaging conversations that would tell the leaders that we have the solution. We still have enough time in this administration. It seems like most people have given up on this administration bringing any solution to the problems we're facing. Let's
move on very quickly now to Vanguard. Let's find a story we've not taken. Regional government system can't help Nigeria anymore, says Yakasai. 7 feared killed as 4-story building collapses in Ibadan. Insecurity, we have measures to ensure safety of Nigerians, says Buhari. Protesting oil workers demand action against pipeline vandals. DQ, that's Defense Headquarters, confirms killing of over 200 terrorists in Bamba Sambisa Forest. Will submit to robust funding of education, says Obi. Warrant execution, large foreign currency military materials recovered from Mahmoud's house, says DSS. Nigeria in state of receivership, needs zero miracles, says Anya. I think we just took that story. And Lawan, no going back on report of our monitoring team to Yobe North. Okay, so I found... Okay, go ahead. You want to start?
Okay, our president declared the 12th Nigerian Navy Games open yesterday. It's themed Lagos 2022. I was shocked. I didn't realize he was in town. Usually when he comes, there's like lots of traffic everywhere. But here was just in a particular area. But he was here. And... during the event, he talked about the stance of government concerning security and the security challenges. And he said that he was assuring all Nigerians that the security agencies will continue to ensure that appropriate measures are put in place for our safety as Nigerians, and also encourages us to continue to believe in the capability of the armed forces to safeguard and bring long-lasting peace and stability to the country. But he also emphasized the importance of synergy and working together. That's the armed forces, other security operatives, as well as the general public, because that is the only way we can have sustained peace. And then he went ahead, he commissioned the newly constructed Nigerian Navy Sports Complex, which he commended them for, and says it provides an opportunity for where the Navy can, train, and other people in, and other activities, sporting activities can continue there.
So the oil companies, workers of oil companies under the aegis of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Pengasin, have protested in Abuja. Their protest is based on the fact that there is huge crude oil theft. So,
okay, all right.
According to them, 90% of every oil pumped into the pipeline is being stolen. That for every time you pump in 10,000 barrels, you only get 1,000 at the companies, and many of the companies are folding up. So they said they've had conversations to sort of negotiate with the government to see how they can improve the security system, but they haven't done that. And because a lot of Nigerian companies are employing these people, the threat of losing their liquidity as a company and folding up, which would result in mass loss of jobs, that the Nigeria as a government needs to address the issues Pegasus is raising in terms.
Right, so there was a story that I really wanted to take before we run off. First Republic politician and elder statesman Tanko Yakasai was saying something that I thought was really interesting. He was saying that the regional system of government that we're all clamoring for would not work. According to him, this system will allow the resource control per region. And they say that that will not work now because it will not correct the various challenges Nigeria is facing, especially given the current precarious situation that the country is faced with. That wasn't really clear. That was a bit vague. But what he was saying was that those who made us adopt the American system were those the Nigerians who traveled abroad back then and had the American exposure and then made us drop the parliamentary system. He was saying that the system that he thinks that will work with Nigeria is the French system. And because he gave two specific reasons. One is cheaper. And secondly, it's easier to change a government that's not working. So here, the American system makes it so complex to remove a government, while the French system is easier. So I mean, said a lot of things. It was quite interesting, but this is my first, this is a new perspective to the conversation on the revolution of power.
Yeah.
So I would like to read up more on this, on the French system, to know what he means, but it was interesting for you to hear a new perspective concerning why he thinks regional governments would not work. That was just all I wanted
We just have our own system.
And we create the one that we want.
Customized to our own setting.
Our own reality.
That is all we can take on the show, on this segment. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.